Thursday Night Football. What is Brandon Aiyuk's injury status? General Manager John Lynch on KNBR
Brandon,
on
with
Wednesday morning. You may have heard this.
Brandon, it's with these Thursday night games. They're a quick turnaround. So he clearly got something irritated in his chest shoulder area. He's working really hard to try to get ready. And with these Thursday night games, you take it all the way down there. You don't have to make your inactives until on Thursday. So Brandon's working really hard. He's a warrior. You can see it in his play. He's having fun because he's kind of, I think everything's starting to click for him. So I know he's a guy who doesn't want to miss. We clearly won't put him out there if it's not in his best interest. But I think that situation is very fluid.
I expect him to play. That is a trait of his, right? As John likes to say, fast guys love to run. Well, tough guys love to tough it out. And I think Brandon Aiyuk's going to play today. Every indication has been that there's no risk of further injury. And for all we know, there's no risk of aggravating what the injury was, that it will just take time to heal and he'll heal it up. In a weird way, the Thursday night game coming quick makes it harder in terms of playing through pain, but there was less practice time to miss. So, all the practice he did last week and playing in that game gets him right back, in some ways, right back into game shape. But there's a couple reasons I think he's going to play. The title of the thumbnail on this video, How Champions Are Made, scratched out, How Champions Are Paid. It is the year for Brandon Aiyuk. And you heard John Lynch say it. It's not the year because he came in with pressure, or it's not the year because he proclaimed he has high expectations. We watched him play against the Steelers and went, oh, damn, it's the year. It's the year everybody thought. And if you went to training camp or OTAs like I did, you watched him in those practices and you went, it's the year. So everything is lining up for him. And when you are on fire, and Brandon Aiyuk is on fire right now, all the preparation, he's not on fire because he's, like hot streak hitter hot over the course of 150 games or whatever a guy plays, 40. You're just going to get hot, you're going to get cold. You're going to get hot, you're going to get cold. You're going to get hot, you're going to get cold. That's not why Brandon Aiyuk's hot right now. Brandon Aiyuk is hot right now because Brandon Aiyuk has put in all the work to get ready for this moment right here. And I don't think he's going to miss it. Does it matter that it's a national television game? I don't think it matters to him. It's not about that. Everybody who has a checkbook, the owners and the GMs, they've seen Brandon Aiyuk. Other teams pay you for your stats. Your team, especially this team, when it can, they didn't do it with Buckner. I know someone's going to say, pays you for being a war daddy. It's what he is. Debo worth more to the 49ers than he's worth to anybody else. And he would have been worth a lot to somebody else, but he's worth more to them. This guy, I don't know. This guy might be worth equally as much to everybody, but this is the year for him. And I don't think he's going to miss it. And I don't think he's missing this game. The other part of it is, and by the way, before I get to the other part, E. Herbo says, I usually wait to get to some of these comments. I knew he would play because of his contract. I'm not saying that. I don't think he's playing because of his contract. I think he'll play tonight. They've not announced that he'll play tonight. Game time decision. I think he'll play tonight because he right now knows that he's in the zone. He has put himself in the zone. He has put his mind, his body, the whole thing is working exactly the way it's supposed to work, exactly the way he's always wanted it to work. It's working perfectly. He's catching almost everything. He leads the NFL in catches against man coverage as well. He is locked in, dialed. But it's not because he meditated before the game. It's because he put in the work. And when you're in that position, you don't want to miss a thing because you think even at less than 100%, I can still deliver. So there's that. There's us trying to figure out Brandon's mind. There's also just the fundamental 49ers roster. They have Isaiah Winstead. They have Chris Conley. They have Tay Martin. They have Willie Snead on practice squad. Of those four guys, one of them made an NFL catch last year. It was Chris Conley, and he made 4 of them. He had a good camp. Willie Snead, I thought he had a good camp. He looked good for the 49ers. Tay Martin, good camp. Isaiah Winstead, not yet. Isaiah Winstead, I think, no one has said this, but when I watch him, I think they think Could that be the next Juwan Jennings? He makes tall catches, but he's not ready yet. So it's the other three guys. And, Chris Conley got hurt in the preseason. I think Willie Steed makes sense, but none of those guys scream, put Brandon Aiyuk in a hoodie tonight. We'll activate one of them. Because here's the beauty of the Niners team. For better or worse, the production so far this year, and generally, but especially this year, is extremely top heavy. So they can afford, famous last words, they can afford to put Brandon Aiyuk in uniform tonight, have him active, at worst, say, break in case of emergency, and otherwise give targets to, Ray McCloud, who's proven he can play. Ronnie Bell got snaps before Ray McCloud on offense last year, so he can get a chance too. So I think everything kind of points to Aiyuk playing tonight. Aiyuk is going to want to play. Why? Because he's balling. Not because I better play for my contract. I don't think that's what he's thinking. I think he's thinking, I am so dialed in right now. I better get on that field. He came back in the game last week. So when John Lynch says, we're not going to put him out there if it's going to be a problem for him. Well, we already know they think he can play because they let him back in the game. So if they let him back in the game on Sunday, they'll let him play today if he wants to play. I think he's going to want to play. And if there needs to be any sort of pain management compromise, you go, all right, fine. We got Ronnie Bell. We kind of want to see Ronnie. We got Ray McCloud. We know we can trust him. We've barely thrown the ball to Juwan Jennings. We haven't thrown the ball to Kyle Juszczyk yet. Yeah, we can throw Debo a few more. Yeah, we can throw McCaffrey a few more. We'll give Mitchell some carries, and we'll throw the ball to Christian. Well, maybe we can throw the ball to Kittle a little more. We'll get some other tight ends. So Kyle can find, hey, we'll take the 8 targets, 9 targets, 11 targets that I'm going to give Aiyuk tonight, and I'll spread them somewhere else. Ronnie Bell will get maybe 2 of them. Maybe. The rookie receiver is like, let me see you block for 8 snaps for 6 weeks in a row before you get a target. But I don't think they are. The reason I said famous last words is the second you think like we don't need a guy, you need a guy. So I think they want to put him in uniform. I think they'll be willing to put him in uniform because they put him back in the game. I think he's going to want to play. The doctors are going to tell him you can play. It's just pain management, and he's going to go, sweet. You know what I am? Tough guy. You know what tough guys do? They play. That's what he's proven to be so far in his career with the 49ers. That's who he is. That's what this team is made up of. That's what, the irony is he was in some doghouse, but that is allegedly confirmed. But that's what he is. He wants to play. And they're going to go, yeah, we can use a roster spot on that. So, yeah. Ronnie Bell time. Winstead is the new Trey Sermon. The 49ers are the only ones that believe in him. Was Isaiah Winstead drafted? He was undrafted. Trey Sermon was not undrafted. So I don't know if they believe in him, but I'm intrigued. Never take an NFL opponent lightly. Yeah. Too many horses on this team to pay everybody. I don't know how this doesn't end up like the DeForest Buckner situation. Yeah. Big day today. Holla at your boy. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate that very much. We're brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Not now. Well, depending on where you are. Maybe a little later, though. Tonight, game night. TikTok. Undrafted free agent. Cool. I think he's in. I mean, you look at how he got hurt, and you went, what are they going to do? They take him back to the locker room? Then they had a shot of him on the sideline, not going back to the locker room. Then he was right back in the game, diving for the ball. Elephant in the room is how overrated the skill guys are. Debo is a screen guy at this point. The idea that some worrisome wide receiver is peak Shanahan fanboy bullcrap. every other coach seems to think that he's dangerous. So I'm not sure what you got going on there. We'll continue. All Niner fans salivate over Debo jogging on patterns because he had one good season as a gadget guy. Hilarious. No, I think it was because he had one season where he carried them to the playoffs. That's how I remember it, but maybe I got something going on here. 1 or 2? 2 or 3? I did just get new contacts. Maybe I can't see. Coming up tonight, Thursday Night Football, and then live after the game. All right, got to roll. Everybody have a good day. This was a shorty. This was a quickie today on Aiyuk. That's what I expect, but we'll see how the thing plays out. I'll be a little surprised if he doesn't play, but we'll see. All right, got to run. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Check out the podcast down in the description below for more discussion about Niners and Giants coming up tonight, and we'll be back on YouTube after the game. Yes, that was on the dark web. Later, y'all.